Hi Taurus, and welcome to your weekly tarot reading. So I'm going to shuffle you one card and then I'll do the rest of the deck. So one card for Taurus, and you've got the happy card. Very, very nice. There's a feeling of this card, I always think it's a bit like the Three of Cups, a bit joy. There's a feeling of lightness and carefreeness around this. So I'm not sure how this is going to manifest and what's making you feel so happy. I am assuming there's some sort of resolution maybe in one area of your life, because she flies free. And obviously, Taurus, we fly free when we've reached some point of resolution. So I'm going to split the cards. And then I shuffle one more time, and then I'll split them again, okay? So, split them again. Okay, so tell me the messages for Taurus for the week ahead. So what's behind you is your own card, the Hierophant. Some of you might have been dealing with the laws of the land. It could be to do with marriage, the establishment. The Hierophant is about stability. I always think there's an energy of the Hierophant as well. To your own self, be true, Taurus. There's no greater gift in this world than being true to your own heart and your own energy. The gift is the world. There you go. Something is reaching completion. And I think that's where the feeling of the happy card comes from. The challenge, a Page of Cups. Okay? So there's some sort of emotional, some sort of relationship issue as the challenge, because the Two of Wands is showing up in your relationship sector. This is how people are showing up for you, Taurus. So this isn't your energy. The Two of Wands is that classic fork in the road, and a bit like the Lover's card. So you might be dealing with some people and there's an energy of indecision and uncertainty around them. The Queen of Pentacles is underneath the World card, and then the outcome is the Ten of Pentacles, so that isn't bad, especially if it's a material issue. The Ten of Pentacles is a happy outcome, so if you're looking for a job, fantastic sign. If you're looking for some sort of prosperity, something to do with housing, the Ten of Pentacles is a completion card, and the World is a completion card. So for some of you, it's obviously might be a financial sort of establishment issue which is making you feel so content and so happy. There seems to be some sort of something coming to completion here. So the challenge seems to be around an emotional dynamic and a sense of uncertainty about what's coming next. Can you give me one clarifying card for these two? Your relationship readings are on Vimeo, Taurus, by the way. If it helps you to have a double look, feel free, the link's underneath there. So one clarifying card that clarifies the challenge and how other people's energy is showing up for you. One card, please. I'm going to split them again. The Knight of Pentacles. There's like very cautious energy here, Taurus. And it's definitely around an emotional issue. So either this is people showing up for you, but sometimes it is about us. And because relationships tend to be a mirror, for better or for worse. So there's an energy of cautiousness about moving forward clearly in your relationship dynamic. So let's look at the rest of the reading. The Hierophant's behind you. Some of you might have been dealing with something to do with the law, the establishment, that sort of thing, okay? The powers that be. Now the World card is looking right into the Hierophant, so there's clearly a happy conclusion to something going on here, Taurus. It could be anything. It could be to do with the legal system. It could be to do with the housing, job, work, but look at the cards and the outcome being the Ten of Pentacles. It's a fantastic, happy story here. The Queen of Pentacles is the central issue again. So you've got your own energy showing up. This could be a person, okay, who's very slowly and cautiously moving forward towards you. Okay, so tell me why the Queen of Pentacles is with the Lovers card. There's a lot of choice going on here. You've got the Choices card showing up twice. And you've also got the Earth element showing up twice. So the Earth element is always going to be the slowest moving energy. And you've got it represented 4 times in your reading. Which means, you know what, Taurus, see, between me and you, I'm also an astrologer as well, and I always like the slow moving, very, very organic change and a way of approaching a relationship, because it tends to mean that it's based on much more earthy values, so much more real, much more grounded. Sometimes too much cup, there's all these feelings but nothing's actually happening. The difficult side effect of it is the slowness of it, and sometimes there's so much earth that nothing actually moves. So only you really know, watching, what this energy means to you. Be in your power, Taurus. And when a Taurus is in their power, it's such a beautiful sight to see, because you're so established and so willing to wait and work with the earth element. So what is it that's coming to conclusion for Taurus? What's the World card about? One card, please. One card. My throat's a bit hoarse for some reason. Okay, the 8 of Cups. And then the Wheel. The Wheel came up first, actually, but I didn't feel the cards were ready yet. So the Wheel is a turning around of events. So something is clearly turning around here. The Ten of Pentacles is pretty much the same, very fortuitous card. The 8 of Cups has also appeared. I don't know if the 8 of Cups is appearing because of the Pentacle energy. So quite often I see a lot that people go into cards like the 5 of Cups and the 3 of Swords in a relationship dynamic, but it's not about the actual that things aren't progressing. It's just they're progressing in a much slower pace, and so that might send you into that sort of this feeling of searching. But you know what, Taurus, I cannot help feeling this isn't about, this is a relationship dynamic. It's not that there's anything wrong in this relationship dynamic, but because of the energy's cautious, it's slowing things down. And that's, I always say to people to mind the gap, because when we're in the gap period is where our head can tell us all these stories about things. And essentially when it comes down to it, it's that storyline that we need to begin to work with to begin to create the life that we're truly worth. And Taurus, you're worth a fantastic life. If you don't mind me saying, something is clearly coming to a completion. 3 major arcanas, all telling the same story. And to me, the challenge is something to do with a relationship. And I can sort of guarantee you, because the earth element, it's maybe not the relationship that's the issue. It's the energy of cautiousness, slowing things down, taking things easy. You know what, Taurus, that is what your energy's about. That's what that milk and honey of Taurus represents. So don't worry if something seems to be taking an awful long time. In fact, I think you should celebrate. So why the Ten of Pentacles? What's the Ten of Pentacles about? One card. One card. The Seven of Pentacles. Something that you've been waiting for is happening. The Seven of Pentacles is a waiting card. And what they're waiting for is the right time to harvest, to do with the wheel, to do with the turning of events and the turning of the clock, Taurus, because all the cards work together, as most of you know, and sometimes the challenging cards, which you don't really have any challenging cards, are more the waiting. It's when the waiting happens that I almost want to say that's when the shit hits the fan. Sorry for swearing, but that's sort of when we can go into quite difficult places, and there's nothing difficult happening here. Everything's developing slowly. You know what, Taurus? I'll have this reading. I love your reading, actually. Very straightforward. Just mind the gap if you're waiting on anything. And don't fill it with stories of life's not working, stories of, you know what I mean, Taurus. Just move back into the earth element and just be in your own power, and then teach us all how to be in very beautiful Taurus power. Okay? Very interesting, and loads of love, guys. Bye.